I wonder, will we be seeing some of the VAR incidents that have basically become a regular feature over the last few months and years in football playing a part this evening? I want to discuss it tonight, though, because there seems to be a groundswell growing among a lot of the players. Now, we had incidents, particularly in the Liverpool game, again last night in the Aston Villa game. Niall, can I just take your attention to a quote from James Milner on Twitter after the game at the weekend, and when they had a number of decisions go against them. He said, "We need a serious discussion about VAR. Sure, I'm not alone in feeling that they are falling out of love with the game in its current state." Is that is he being a little OTT there, or are people in danger of falling out of love with the game of football?
He's obviously really annoyed with it. Other players are saying it, and he's come out and said that's big. He doesn't, do stuff like this willy-nilly. This has kind of come, I think, is quite intentional what he's trying to say there. And I guess by saying falling out of love with football, that's somebody who's as decorated as he is, played all the games he is, has lived as a model footballer, and saying this thing is coming in and ruining it. And that's the message I read from that, and it's the message that's going out there. It's been put about. And something will have to be done to correct what VAR has turned into. For penalty decisions, okay, what VAR has done has developed a new art of getting a penalty easily. And it's ruining games because big games are now, not maybe fully decided by a penalty, but somebody is trying to get a penalty far more than they ever used to.
There was always a bit of diving and a bit of chicanery, but you feel it's almost been elevated.
The slightest of touches now, VAR goes, oh, there was a touch and it's a penalty. Or the referee goes, yeah, well, there's a touch, it's a penalty. So that idea that a referee can make out, was it enough of a touch? Has he gone down a bit easy? That's been taken out of it, and it's really taking from the game. And I would be in a similar vein to James Milner. I would be do you know what? I'm getting fed up with this. This is just ruining it, because big moments in games should be about brilliant individual skill, not about a machine that is correcting something to a decimal point. That is allowing and making way for a new art to come along in the game, and that's it. You do your job. You're a great player now for your manager if you get yourself an easy penalty. And players are looking for easy penalties. They used to always, but now they're actually getting them always, far more than they should.
Yeah, it seemed for the first couple of seasons, Damien, that the players were sort of, OK, let's see how this works out and see if they can, perfect some of the areas which were concerned. But now, as I said, a groundswell. I mean, Milner, Andy Robertson came out and spoke about it, as did Henderson after the match, Grealish after the game last night. Now, all those guys had decisions go against them. So is it just sour grapes, or is it that sort of spirit of the game stuff that we're talking about here?
I think it's important to remember that football life pre-VAR wasn't some utopic dream. People still got pretty upset on a Saturday afternoon. I believe that when people got upset, players were heavily fined if they criticised referees publicly. You could not come out and say anything. If you mentioned a referee, it was straight up, huge fine. VAR seems to be fair game, so players now are coming out and venting their frustration. I believe that football is a living, breathing thing. There's an emotion in a game. Sometimes there's undercurrents, there's undertones going on there. And a referee should be given the responsibility to tap into that, because he's on the pitch. Sometimes you watch a game on the TV, you think things are going fine, it's great, but on the pitch, there could be something going underneath it. A referee has to kind of be trusted to feel the game, that if there is a tough tackle, that, the game has been quite physical, it's not automatically a red card. Penalties, it seems to be easier to get a penalty now than to get a free kick outside the box. Before, it was always like, it was a touch, but maybe it wasn't enough for a penalty. You're getting penalties easily, and players now know any contact, go down, it'll be under review.